Yeah.
Come on.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Another day and another JMC Touring review, and oh my god, this is huge. So this one is the all-new JMC Touring long wheelbase high roof 15 to 17 seater van, but take note with the seats, we'll get to that later. So it just came from the short wheelbase 7-seater variant, so check it out on the channel. Particularly, this is almost the same car, but hence the high roof. I can't even jump to go to the roof itself. And yeah, being a long wheelbase, this is one of the biggest cars now that I've ever driven. And this being the newest version of the Touring, this is based on the Ford Transit Pro itself. And like that of the short wheelbase van, buying this is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder diesel engine that produces 144 horsepower and 355 newton meters of torque. But having just driven the short wheelbase that is mated with an 8-speed automatic transmission, now we go back to the basics because this one is the 6-speed manual transmission van. I'm very keen on how this performs compared to that of the previous generation, and the front fascia itself is identical to that of the short wheelbase van. But this one now you have only projector HIDs compared that of the LEDs. This one are still halogen as such. The ground clearance is the same at around 220 to 250 millimeters. But if you pack everything up, so it can go as low as 107 millimeters. And this being the long wheelbase van, so few changes too on the side profile, hence the size itself, are the wheels and tires itself. So these now are running on 215, 75, and 16 series tires. So it's a little bit thicker now than usual, again, to accommodate all the weight. And we come to the rear, so apologies for the angle because this is how wide, long, and tall this vehicle is. So you get your usual tail lights, and this being now the long wheelbase version, you have a split type for the boot itself. So I hope you can see it. Oh yeah, you can. So oh, never mind. Okay, I was not expecting the doors to stretch all the way like this. So these parts are all leather. So more on that later on. So I mentioned 15 to 17 seater, but this variant is actually special because this is the cargo variant. So yeah, this is among one of the largest cargo capacities I've ever seen. So this is around 7,000 to 11,000 liters of space. And the payload capacity of this is of course much larger than the which is at 1,595 kilograms. This is at a whopping 1,745 kilograms. Basically, you can carry another crossover in this vehicle. This thing is so huge. There's so many activities you can do in this vehicle. And this is the interior, once again, of a JMC Touring van. Here in the door card, pretty much the same like with that of the short wheelbase van. Here on the left side, you get an array of compartments. One is a cup holder, headlight level adjustment, and one Type A USB port. And this time, for this exact variant, this one's mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. And you don't get like a remote key anymore. It's a bog standard key. And fire up into live. So we get the same gauges, a tachometer, a speedometer with a little LCD display right in the middle. And thank goodness it's not set in Chinese, so we can see what's going on. But at the same time, it just displays few bits of information only, like for your fuel economy, which hopefully I can give later on during this short test drive. And like before too, you get the same blue accents on the needles itself, since this being based on a Ford Transit Pro. So that's just a fuel warning, but we'll survive. Don't worry. Steering wheel is exactly the same. It's polyurethane, and then you only get buttons here all on the right side for adjusting the trip computer, your volume, and phone connectivity stuff. And my prayers have been answered compared with the previous generation JMC Touring long wheelbase variant. We have here now a 10-inch infotainment system with phone mirror link, a reverse camera with dynamic guidelines. That was my big nitpick compared with the previous one, and thank goodness we have one now, because this is really hard to maneuver, especially here in tight city spaces, or like here in a service center as well. So compared with that of the automatic short wheelbase van, the layout here is similar yet different at the same time, because get your usual climate control knobs here, but we have one additional button here for electronic stability controls. So I will not play with that for obvious reasons. Then same here, you get a 12-volt socket, type A USB port, and an extra compartment. You can act it like an ashtray as such. Glove box, yeah, that's pretty deep and decent amount. And what I like too, you get the same look whatever variant you get. Big difference now too with this LWB variant are the seats. Yes, it still may be a two-tone color scheme of blue and white, but this time it's cloth. I don't mind it whatsoever. It's not the usual black like with other base models that I've tried out on the channel. And few more notable differences. So above here, it's usually a dome light only for the SWB, but the controls for the rear occupancy or for their cargo are located now here up above. And visor, again, it's one of the largest and longest I've ever encountered. It can literally cover the sun and cause a total solar eclipse. Oh, right, we're done because there's no more seats in the back. One thing I forgot to discuss too in the short wheelbase variant, so we get a manual handbrake here, which is nice. And the seating position is very truck-like. So I had to move my seat way closer than usual to be comfortable with my arms on the steering wheel. And the pedals are just a little bit closer than usual. But this is going to be a fun challenge now because we're going to try this manual transmission variant out. And now driving this massive behemoth, well, I can tell it's a little bit more responsive now, hence we are driving a manual transmission variant. But I would say the clutch bite, the throw of the gear shift, it's identical to that of the previous iteration. But for once, since this is the cargo variant, so it's a little bit lighter on its feet. So that means yep, it's a little bit more nimbler now than usual. This clutch bite is actually really nice. So again, since being based off a Ford Transit itself, so Ford really know how to tune their manual transmission vehicles. So is this one, and I would say it's pretty easy to drive as a manual vehicle. Just account, remember, this is the LWB. You have to watch out for the length of this vehicle. So it took me an age to get out of the service center of JMC QAV. But driving here now, conventionally, normally, it's pretty okay. So same impressions like with that of the short wheelbase variant. The steering has some heft to it. And then if you want to overtake, I was just in third gear, so you saw that. That's not bad at all. And the brakes, pretty much the same. It's a low but firm pedal, but you need a lot of pressure to get it to stop. But hey, it's pretty much okay as a commercial van. And remember, there's so many vans with this. Remember, there's a 15 to 17 seater van. Then there's this cargo van, which I was not expecting to drive at all. And as for the fuel economy, well, since this is a short test drive, it's not displaying sadly here on the tip computer yet. But I did check online that the claimed fuel economy of this, so I'm not sure if it's a combined or a highway figure, this one can do as much as 13 kilometers per liter. And of course, comparing with the older Touring, this, I would say, is a much better ride than usual. Maybe there's no seats whatsoever, but I did commend that too in the short wheelbase van, that the ride of this is actually really good. Among one of the best, better commercial vans that I've tried out so far. And being a manual transmission for this long wheelbase version, it's really good, I have to say. So it's really up to your preference if you want a manual transmission or an automatic van. So remember, for this long wheelbase version, there is no automatic variant as of this time of filming, but there will be one soon, hopefully. But for now, we get this 6-speed manual transmission. And I didn't say my NVH test in the short wheelbase van because it's a van, but now we can, because you can hear raindrops up above. So it's a bit echoey, but it is expected because in the back there's literally nothing. And again, driving this around here in Quezon City, it's, yeah, I got the hang of it pretty quickly. And sudden downpour we are experiencing here at the moment. but it's a good test of this JMC Touring long wheelbase version. And despite with the rain, I know it covers a lot of parts of the windows, but visibility again throughout, despite having large dimensions, it's pretty much easy to look around because there's so many big windows anyway. And been a while since I've driven a manual transmission. Fun fact, it was the same too with the JMC Touring variant. Again, I love this transmission combo with this engine because it's kind of peppy for what it is, and it's very much easy to drive despite being a very large and long vehicle. So one more time. So I did notice too, in first gear, I hope you'll be able to demo it again. It's actually really short, so I'll floor it now. There it stops to 3,000 RPM. So literally, it's, I think for like uphill and steep ramp driving only. So because second gear is actually good enough to get you going. So here, let's try it out. So there's even a hump in front of us. So second gear. There, look at that. Since you have again 355 Newton meters of torque, it can propel you forwards really, really quickly. And for this long wheelbase version, compared to that of the short, this is a little bit more steeper, as I say, because still this one stands at 1,950,000 pesos. Remember, both variants, the SWB and this LWB, have massive discounts, so I highly recommend to check out here at JMC Quezon City if you want to check out this all-new JMC Touring models. And speaking of, I'd like to thank everyone here again at JMC Quezon City for making these sets of reviews possible, and hopefully we'll have more JMC reviews again soon on the channel. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon with hopefully this kind of vehicles. And let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy this kind of content on the channel. Bye bye.